Hey guys, it's Ivy. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my August wrap up. I did not really follow my TBR very well. The same thing is happening in September, but like that's okay. So jumping in, the first book I read was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and this is one of my favorite reads of the year. This is basically a book about a girl who can see grays, aka ghosts, and she gets involved in investigating the secret societies of Yale, and it's totally creepy and amazing and gothic and gorgeous and dark and mysterious, super atmospheric. I did film a review for this, which I haven't edited yet, but you will see that coming shortly, so definitely keep an eye out for that. It is a really great story about Alix's life. It goes back and forth between her being young and how she got to Yale and how these people found out about her, and it's just extremely good. It's basically, as I said in my review, like imagine Stephen King writing The Sixth Sense at Yale, and like this is what you get. It is a masterpiece and definitely one of my favorites of the year. It's definitely my favorite book that Leigh has ever written, and she was born to write a book like this, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is The Travelers by Regina Porter, and this is basically a story about many different people, which made it hard for me to connect. I will say I connected with Eloise's story the most. Like, I enjoyed learning her history, but it's basically like a lifetime spanning story about a bunch of different people, and for that it was kind of hard to get into because it wasn't like a constant like story, but it also wasn't like short stories, if that makes sense. So this book was just okay for me. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like swoon over it or anything. So I think it's probably maybe like a 2.75 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is Osaka by E.K. Johnston, and I listened to this on audiobook and I highly recommend it. It's Osaka's story, and basically she was the apprentice to Anakin Skywalker before he became Lord Vader, and it's just so good. And she's in the Rebel Alliance, but she pretends not to be herself, and like it's just so insanely good. The narration on it is really good. I haven't watched the cartoon, like the Clone Wars or anything like that. I think that's what the cartoon is called. I haven't dived into those yet, but I do plan on checking them out because I really did love Osaka's story, and it was just so much fun. I did give this 5 out of 5 stars, and as I've said previously, I love the Star Wars audiobooks because of the sound effects and the way the narrations are, so I highly recommend checking this one out. The next book I read was a collection of poems, and I received an early copy from NetGalley, and that is Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Trista Mater, and this collection was okay. When I requested the book, I didn't realize it was poems. Like, I thought it was an actual story, but then I was like, oh, it's just poems, but because the cover and the title like drew me in. But I read it like that fast, and I will say it's basically like told as if Aphrodite's telling the story, which I really didn't like that. I don't know why. I didn't like the way the poems were narrated. I just really didn't enjoy that. There were a few poems that I did really connect with, that I really enjoyed. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, but it's not something that I would like recommend, that I would pick up again or anything like that, because I just was like, really did not connect with the narration. So, but some of the poems I did connect with and like, but the narration just like was not for me. The next book I also requested on NetGalley and got approved for, and that is 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. And this book is about a girl who is, it's set in Christmas time. She walks in on her boyfriend saying that he is glad that she's going on vacation because he doesn't want to like hang out with her or anything, and so they break up. So she goes to her grandparents' house, and her grandma decides that she's going to set her up on 10 blind dates, and each person from her family gets to pick a person for her to go on a date with, and it's just so highly entertaining. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the rom-com aspects, and I really enjoyed that. Meanwhile, the whole time she's reconnecting with the neighbor whom she has been friends with her entire life and has liked her entire life. And so it's just so cute and so entertaining. And if you like Christmas stories, I definitely recommend picking this one up around the holidays because it's got that Christmas feel. Like, she goes to an ugly Christmas sweater party, and it's just really a lot of fun, and I highly recommend that you check this book out if you like funny rom-coms and stuff like that. Also, I would say, like, it's kind of like if you like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Totally different like aspects, but just kind of like the funness of it being 10 days and stuff like that. The next book I read this month is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alix E. Harrow, and this book is about a girl named January whose father is basically like an artifact finder, and she lives with the guy that her father works for. And at the beginning of the story, she finds this blue door, and that kind of is where the whole story starts. As she gets older, she finds this book that's telling her this story about 2 people who meet through different worlds from a door, and it's just the way the story unfolds is very beautiful. At the beginning, I didn't like the book, not this book, like the book inside the book. I didn't really enjoy that story. Like, I wanted to hear more about January, but the further the story goes, the more you realize that it is her story and that it has a big connection, which obviously, but at the time I was just like, I want to hear about January and the door that she's like looking for. But then you realize, like, oh shit, like this all has to do with the bigger plot. And it is a very beautiful story. I will say, if you like Renee Addier's writing style, you will really like this book. Or Roshani Chachki, her writing style, you will really like this book. Also, if you are a fan of the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire, you will definitely love this novel. I did end up giving this book 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was beautifully written. There's a lot of adventure, but there's not a lot of action. So just kind of be aware that it is more of a slow burning story. The next book I read this month on audiobook was Evvie Drake Starts Over. This book is written by Lindell Holmes, and I enjoyed the audiobook. I enjoyed the narration. I liked that. I thought the book was fun, fast-paced, entertaining. I think that I would make a really good movie. Like, I could picture everything very vividly as I was listening to it. And when I wasn't listening to it, I did want to be listening to it. I really liked it. I didn't tell you what it's about. This lady is leaving her husband, Evvie. She's leaving her husband, and on the day that she packs up to leave him, she gets a call saying that he was in an accident and then he's passed away. And so, like, it puts her on this journey. She gets linked up with this guy who is an old baseball player who can't use his arm anymore. Like, he can use his arm, like, it functions, but for some reason he can't pitch, so he's like not allowed to play baseball anymore. And so he decides to rent a room from her, and it's kind of like their story of them like coping with everything that they had been going through and finding strength within each other and their friendship that gets built. And I just really like this novel. I think it was really good, and I really recommend the audiobook if you like audiobooks. And I did give this book 4 out of 5. I read Serpent and Dove, and this is by Shelby Mahurin. I think that's how you say her name. This is another favorite of the year. This book is about Lou, and Lou is a witch, and she is very mischievous and carefree and basically a badass. She tricks this guy who's a witch hunter into like making it look like he was like assaulting her, and all these people are like and so the higher, I forget what he's called, basically the guy's boss. The guy's name is Reed. Basically, Reed's boss like tells him Reed is a witch hunter. He tells him like, you have to marry her now because like you have to make it like seem like to these people that you guys are together. So Lou is a witch and Reed is a witch hunter, and they end up having to marry each other, and like she has to keep this from him, and it's just so insanely good. All the while she's running from her mother because her mother tried to murder her, sacrifice her, to help her in the spell so that the witches can reclaim what they once had. And it's just, oh my gosh, so good. This book is so good. Lou really reminded me of Selena, and I think that if you're a Sarah J Maas fan, you will totally eat this book up. It's so good. And the romance, oh my god, I could not take it. I could not take it. It's so good, and like the build up to them like kissing is amazing. Like I was distraught over what was happening. I love this book. It's so good. It's definitely made my favorites list, and I cannot wait for book 2. And this book is out now, and go pick it up. You just need to go pick this book up. You need to read it. Get back with me in the comments your thoughts and feelings, because it is so good. Obviously, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The final book I read in the month of August is All the Stars and Teeth by Adalyn Grace, and this book comes out in February of 2020, so you do have some time before you can read it, but definitely add it to your TBRs, pre-order it and everything. This book is about Amora, and she is a princess, and in her world, people can only possess one kind of magic, so different people with different magics live on different islands, and on her coronation, her magic goes awry, and they say that she's taken over by the beast, and they're scared of her, and they incarcerate her. And there's this mysterious guy who shows up to claims to be somebody that he's not, and he breaks her out of jail and tells her like, I need your help. I know what's going on in the world, and you need to help me. So she decides to go with him, obviously, because she's already in jail. Like, her people are all mad at her. And along the way, she gets involved with mermaids and creatures that she only thought of as legends, and there's a lot of secrets being uncovered. She stumbles upon some curses, and it's just insanely good. I did give this 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I really recommend that you pre-order it. And I think that even though I didn't give it a full 5 stars, I think that it is gonna be on my favorites list, because I really did enjoy it, and I could picture everything so vividly. Like, her writing is very excellent, and I do believe this is a debut novel, so that's not shocking, but it's like, it doesn't seem like a debut novel because her writing was so good. If you like pirates, curses, family secrets, dark magic, I really recommend that you pick this one up when it comes out or pre-order it. And yeah, this is the final book that I read in August. So clearly I did want to mention something. Now, you must be wondering why I haven't talked about Gideon the Ninth, if I was so excited about that in my TBR. Well, I did start Gideon the Ninth, and let me tell you, I had to put it down. I'm about 150 pages into this, and I had to put it down because I was so confused. I really don't even know what the plot is. I really don't know what's going on, and the writing style is just really weird. And like, I can get down with weird, like I love weird stuff, but it's hard to grasp what is really going on. Like, I don't really know, like, who are Harrow, Hawk, and Gideon, and like, what are they doing? And they're just so mean to each other, and it's just like, I don't know what's happening. So at the moment, I never DNF. I never, like, very rarely do I DNF, because I just think, just finish the book, you started it, like, it sucks, whatever. But I had to put this one down, and I don't know if I'm going to ever get back to it. Like, I want to, and I wanted to love this book. I really thought it was going to be a favorite. I don't know what's happening. I really don't, because it's so gorgeous too, and the finished copy's even more gorgeous. And I don't know. I will try again. I will try again. Actually, I had tried again. I read 9 more pages and then I didn't even finish the chapter. So I can't believe this. It's shocking. Yeah, so I put this down for the time being, but I did read a good amount. So I did want to mention it because I did pick it up, but I'm so upset that I'm not liking that book. Like, you guys have no idea. So anyways, let me know in the comments down below what you guys read in the month of August. If you are looking for me on any other social medias, you can find those linked down below. If you're excited about any of these books, let me know that. Also, please pick up Serpent and Dove, because I need you guys to feel the Selena vibes right along with me. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye!